Now this is pod racing. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Cref.
Welcome to Cref.
So happy that you're here.
Yes, we are.
Whether you're here for the first time or you're a returning subscriber or viewer, we're equally happy that you're here. Equally happy
Wherever you are.
Wherever
Thank
you
you
are
for
in the
being here
world,
with
thank
us.
you for being here. Today
Yes.
we are watching The Bad Batch, episode number 12.
Rescue on Ryloth. We all know what that means.
Yes.
Right? We had a little bit of a flashback to Rebels. A little bit of, you know what I'm saying? Like a callback.
Yeah, with
and
Hera,
and
right?
we knew like, how is the Bad Batch going to fit into this? We know there's going to be a rescue.
Obviously, Chamson Dula, obviously, he's been arrested. And so now it makes sense that the Bad Batch is going to come in and rescue him, which is kind of reminiscent of a few episodes ago with the separatist senator, but that's okay. I mean, what's cool was that the last episode number 11, was a nice change of pace, right?
Yeah.
Because every episode up until then had been Bad Batch mission, Bad Batch mission.
Yep.
And this last episode was more like, okay, Hera, right? A little bit of a just change in the way things are going to go with the show. So I like that.
Yeah,
personally.
and what I want to know is, okay, well, now the Bad Batch and Hera and all these kind of groups that we know from different areas are coming together.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll see how the Bad Batch kind of fits into the Rebel verse. You know what I mean? Like where they were. I don't know. Who knows? We'll find out.
Was Omega always part of the plan? Because Rebels already came out. Again, great show if you haven't seen it. But now that Omega has been introduced to Hera, now the Bad Batch are sort of being weaved into this narrative. How is that going to affect the later Star Wars shows?
Yeah, just like Ahsoka was put into Mandalorian, even the later seasons of Clone Wars.
Is Omega going to show up in one of these live action shows?
So.
I hope so. That'd be great. So. Yeah. But I'm curious to see how this episode goes, aside from the typical, okay, he's going to get rescued. But what's going to happen in between? I don't know.
I think I know what's going to happen.
Okay.
Her mom. Something's going to happen. This is the episode where something happens to her mom.
Yeah. We know that obviously that's something that happens. And again, if you haven't seen Rebels, this is kind of where it's leading. But
we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. Again, if you guys like the video, if you guys hanging out with us, make sure you do like the video and subscribe to the channel. It does help us out a lot.
It does.
But with that out of the way, let's get into it.
Let's get started, guys.
Okay. Bad Batch episode number 12.
Rescue on Ryloth.
Let's see if you're right, Chris. Let's see if the Bad Batch is going to come in. I think it's the most obvious thing that's going to happen, but we'll see.
Surely you know how dangerous it can be out there. You don't know Hera.
You don't know Hera.
But we do.
Hera's a boss.
I was there. That blast didn't come from Cham or his fighters. Is that so? Then please
Gotta get with the program, clone.
You wouldn't think the clones would have this much, resistance in them because they're clones. But, I mean, obviously we know better because of Clone Wars and stuff, but in general, you'd think they'd be a little bit, they'd fall in line better than regular people or regular troops.
Well, most of them do, just the captains and the commanders.
Right.
We can't put ourselves on the line every time someone's in trouble.
Why not? Isn't that what soldiers do?
Got him there.
That's why it's good to having Omega there. She challenges them.
Yeah. Well, I didn't think it was going to be that simple. Hunter's the leader, right?
I mean, it's a short episode. I don't think they could really drag it out for much longer than that.
True.
What's his problem?
Coming.
Chopped.
The best droid, people. Chopper.
Period.
Oh, I forgot. Well, technically, Crosshair is involved in this as well. You know.
They see him. They see him.
See? It's always that one of those droids.
They're so creepy looking, too.
She's trying to save her family, Hunter. I'd do the same for you.
Oh, I'd do the same for you.
Man, she just drops these one-liners.
I know, she just knows where to prick them. Goodness.
Straight to the heart.
We have a battalion of troopers right outside. That's not enough.
That's not enough. Exactly.
I like that.
Right, that's not enough.
Yeah, I like that even after all this time, Crosshair's like, he knows.
I mean, they beat his butt last time.
Yeah.
He'll come around. Why do you trust him so much? Because he's my brother.
Oh.
Brother. That's true.
Yeah, they all are. That's true.
I didn't really. That's a good.
Yeah.
in so many episodes of Rebels, Chopper's always the one like messing things up and
causing problems.
all the problems.
He has his hands up.
This guy.
With one of those. You said you wanted to be a pilot, right? Yeah.
Yes. Finally.
Nice. I like this. They are trusting Omega and Hera to kind of do their thing. Wow.
This is good. We're seeing
Good
Omega
for them.
finally come into her own,
Yeah.
right? Like no
Using all the things she's learned.
Yeah, exactly.
See? Never turn your back on Chopper, ever.
Not for a second.
Nice.
There we go.
It's kind of like Anakin when he gets in the Naboo fighter in episode 1.
Now this is pod racing. Whoa.
What the?
That was cool.
Oh, okay. I was like, why are they driving like that?
So, I wonder if they're
Hauser is going to prevent Crosshair from getting them. That's what I think is going to happen.
What are we doing? We came here to
Oh,
free
Crosshair, don't you dare shoot him.
and we're now being ordered to target the very people we swore to protect.
That's true. Spitting facts.
No truer words.
Wow.
Been said. Yep.
Don't do it.
He's taking aim. He's
Don't
taking
do
aim.
it, my guy.
Little does he know that his move there just basically helped the rebellion for a long time.
Tech showed me how to scramble a ship's signature. See how well it works. For now. But I'm sure I'll see you around.
I hope so.
Me too.
I hope they do like an extra season of Rebels, like they did with Clone Wars.
That'd be cool. Aw. Goodbye.
I hope one day, man. I hope we see like a reunion,
Yeah.
or at least what Omega's doing
Right.
throughout all this.
All right, guys. That was the Bad Batch episode number 12. What I'm starting to realize, you know, I think I should have picked up on this before, but this is very much a show about Omega primarily. The Bad Batch are there just kind of as window dressing.
Yeah.
But this is primarily a show about her.
Yeah, I tend to agree with that.
Because
It's not a bad thing.
It's not, no, I'm not
necessarily.
saying it's a bad thing, but I think the expectations we had going into this show were very different, right? Because again, we thought Bad Batch, you know, spec ops, like cool mission, you know, like that, and there is a little bit of that, but mostly it's about seeing Omega.
It's the
sort of
same.
grow as a
It's
person.
the same as the Mandalorian, right? When you
Yeah.
hear the Mandalorian, the first thing we thought was, okay, bounty hunter. Every episode is a new bounty. Nope.
Yeah, no.
Very quickly turned into Baby Yoda, which is fine.
Yeah.
But that's basically what this show is. And, you know, again, starting off this episode, you're going straight into, you know, obviously what's happening on Ryloth, and the Bad Batch comes in very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And again, the reason why we say this is because it's Omega that really kind of gets them into this.
Yeah.
Like, really challenges
She sort
them.
of takes the lead on this, and she sort of insists that, okay, as soldiers, this is what we do. We help people. We rescue people. And that sort of strong conviction from her is what drives this episode completely, right? It's her sort of determination, because Hunter and the rest of them are kind of like, look, it's too dangerous. But,
Yeah.
you know, she's the one that kind of...
And if you think about it, I think they did. I'm not sure if they did this on purpose, but I kind of noticed it. There's a little bit of a mirroring between how Omega was holding up the Bad Batch to a certain standard, like, okay, this is who you are. Like, you shouldn't be doing this. Like, you should be helping.
Yeah.
And how, you know, Cham was talking to, like, Hauser. It was like, listen, bro, like, that you see what's
I didn't
going
really
on.
think about that.
And Hauser ultimately changed his mind, too.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, you know what? You're right. And so it was kind of both happening
that's a
at the
good
same
point.
time.
Yeah, I didn't pick
like-
up on that, but that's good.
Yeah.
Because here's a question, right, that has sort of been posed in this entire show is, now that the Empire is in power, what happens to the clones, right? And we're told that Omega is sort of the last perfect DNA needed to make more clones. And I think we can kind of infer that the Kaminoans don't capture Omega and they don't get to use her DNA, which is part of the reason why there aren't more clones. But at the same time, to your point, Chris, what we see is that the clones are starting to be, question things, and they don't like the way the Empire is doing things.
Yeah, because it's one thing to turn the chip on and be against the Jedi, but that doesn't cover all the other atrocities the Empire is doing.
That's right.
Because again, the clones, for the most part, were helping all the people they are now oppressing.
You're right.
Right, and that probably makes you think, especially all the commanders and stuff that have been around the Jedi and all like their morality and stuff.
Yeah.
It probably rubbed off on them.
You see, when we saw Crosshair be converted, so to speak, back to the bad side, it was a very clear cut, away from the rest of the Bad Batch. His mission was clear, right? And so we kind of assumed that, well, I guess all the other clones going to kind of feel the same way, right? But obviously we don't see that. And I think
it's going to be a gradual chipping away at different groups of clones over time eventually until they're like, okay, screw this, stormtroopers.
It's kind of sad, a little bit, because it's like you start to see that they're replaceable. You start to see how the Empire views them almost as tools, not so much as individuals, but as tools. And it's a good contrast to Omega and the Bad Batch, who are individuals, right? They are the purest form of cloned individuals there can be.
Yeah, I mean, so to me, right, the best part of this episode was actually Omega and Hera kind of doing their thing, right? Because it's kind of like a preview, like, this is what Hera becomes, this is how kind of she becomes this way. Yeah. She's got that rebel in her, she's a pilot. Yeah. But you also see Omega, like, okay, this is like we're seeing Omega grow, and they're basically able to just take over a ship and do their thing.
Right.
I like that. Yeah. I like that a lot.
Sure, her confidence is growing, and it's crazy to think that the Hera that we know from Rebels, this strong individual, right, who's the leader essentially of the Rebels, right? Yeah. I mean, Omega is kind of the one that inspires her, right? And again, I want to see how Omega plays into all this. I don't know.
Yeah.
But the more time we spend with Omega, the more it's like, okay, what's her role in this larger Star Wars universe, right? Because now we can't ignore it. After 12 episodes with 4 more episodes left, you can't ignore it.
I mean, here's what I'll also say is this show is kind of throwing me off, because if we compare it to Rebels and Clone Wars, let's say Clone Wars, right? Clone Wars, even when you had all these like random episodes, they're going to random planets, it's all towards basically the same goal. Okay, we're fighting in the Clone Wars. We know what the goal is.
Right.
Here, it's just super open-ended.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Each episode, if we go off track, so to speak, we're like, okay, what is this all for?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
To protect Omega.
Yeah.
It's like, nothing. That's the one kind of gripe I've been having with some of these episodes. It's like, there's no really place we're aiming at. It's just like, okay, as long as Omega's okay, we're good.
Yeah, that's true, because even Hunter himself, right? His only goal is to protect the rest of the Bad Batch. Yeah. But there's no goal. There's no direction that they're heading towards. Oh, we got to go find the 5 this, or we got to go rescue that. It's just keep Omega and everybody else safe, right?
Yeah.
But that makes, like you said, Chris, the show kind of aimless. It's like, okay, I guess we can go here, and now essentially they're just on the run again.
Yeah. So and if you think about it as well, like, what are they going to do? Because they really only have a couple options, right? If you say, okay, we're just going to keep doing this, then you're just going to go all over the place.
Yeah.
If you say, oh, we're going to join the rebellion, then you just turn into rebels.
Yeah.
So what do you do?
True. Yeah.
I know. They got to come up with something.
With only a few episodes left, the big question is, what has this all been leading towards?
Yep.
Why have we been putting our time as viewers? What's the big crescendo here that we're waiting for that's going to make this entire viewing experience worth it? Yeah. With The Mandalorian, right, not to give away too many spoilers for season 2, but there was a very clear, very good payoff at the end of that made the entire journey worth it.
Yep.
And so with this, I don't know what it's going to be, but this episode was good because at the very least, it was a little more focused, right? And it seemed like there was more of a point to it. Mm-hmm. So, Chris, your score. What did you think about this episode overall?
Well, one thing I'm going to say before I give my score, I think what's going to happen is this. They're going to build the starting points of the rebellion that they're accessing in Rebels. Sure. Because, like, in Rebels, they're not just, like, starting the rebellion. They're already accessing people and networks and stuff. Yeah. I think that's what's going to happen. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so my score for this, it was a decent episode. It was pretty good. A lot of action, a lot of good, interaction and stuff. So I'd probably give it maybe a 8 out of 10.
Okay. Okay.
How about you?
For me, I think I've watched enough episodes of this show to be able to make a sound judgment. And I think as much as I love the development we're seeing with Omega, at the same time, I think it's at the cost of not seeing development for the rest of the Bad Batch characters, right? Because with Crosshair and Hunter, I want so much more from them. Because especially with Crosshair, he can be a potentially complex, deep character beyond just he's the sniper evil guy, right? And so I'm hoping that we will see more of that in the episodes to come. But to your point, Chris, I think this episode was good to help develop Omega. Again, seeing Hera again was great. So I would go an 8 out of 10 for this episode.
Right.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that was our reaction and review of the Bad Batch episode 12.
Yes, it was.
Thank you so much for watching with us.
you.
As always, if you made it to the end, thank you as well. You get a fist bump for making it all the way here.
Yes, you
It
do.
does help us if you watch the entire video, and hopefully we've kept you entertained this entire time.
Yes.
This was a pretty decent episode. You
Yeah.
know what I mean? Not too bad, not too good. I'd say more good than bad.
But let us know what you thought.
Let us know in the comments. What did you guys think of this episode? Did we miss anything? Or
Yeah.
is there anything that maybe we didn't pick up on? Maybe some reference to Rebels or something that we
Theories
didn't
about
see?
what the next few episodes are going to bring, right?
Yeah.
Not that many episodes left, guys, right?
Yeah, they got to do a lot in a short amount of episodes.
Indeed.
But anyway, guys, thank you again so much for watching. If you haven't already, like and subscribe. Hit that notification bell to let you know when our videos are uploaded.
Yep.
And with that said, we'll see you guys later.
See you in the next one.
Bye.